Good evening. I'm Michelle Weber, Board Chair of the Springfield Education Foundation. It is my pleasure to welcome all of you to our 2021 Virtual Honor Roll Society event. While we miss seeing all of you in person, we are excited to share this virtual evening of celebration with you. Our lives have been drastically changed over the last year, but the teachers, administrators, staff, and students of Springfield Public Schools have shown incredible perseverance, patience, creativity, flexibility, and strength. Through the tremendous generosity of our donors, the foundation has remained dedicated to supporting our students and educators through grants which meet their urgent needs and encourage their ambitious goals. Distance learning altered the needs of our teachers and students, but in 2020, we were able to fund all eligible grant requests totaling approximately $20,000. With our students transitioning back to in-person learning, we expect to fund grants at pre-pandemic levels this year. Thank you for your continued support of innovative education in Springfield. The Springfield Education Foundation's Honor Roll Society was established as a way to honor our donors and volunteers who have made a generous commitment to improving students' lives. Our vision to see the exceptional become the expected in the way students learn, teachers innovate, and our community unites around them would not be possible without your generosity and support. You have helped Springfield students in significant ways. First and foremost, you've helped raise the graduation rate by supporting innovative and engaging programs in the classroom. For that, we thank you. I would now like to introduce Christina Sanfilippo, MC for the evening. Christina is the Executive Director of Springfield Education Foundation, and prior to becoming SEF's Executive Director, served SEF as a board member and a longtime volunteer. Christina is a hardworking PTA mom. Her son and daughter both attended Douglas Gardens Elementary and are now middle school students at Agnes Stewart. She is a dedicated community advocate, serving as a volunteer board member for the Springfield Public Library Foundation, Springfield Renaissance Development Corporation, and as a new member of the Springfield Rotary Club. Please welcome Christina Sanfilippo.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here tonight. It is really wonderful to virtually see you. I do wish we could be hosting our annual Honor Roll Society reception live with food, wine, and friends as in previous years, but I feel confident that we will be back together soon. I want to sincerely thank you for your personal and generous support of the foundation during this year of unknowns and unique challenges. You have made it possible for SEF to continue to support the valued programs our students and educators need to succeed and thrive. Tonight's event is an opportunity for us to say thank you for the impact your generosity is having on Springfield students. Many of you give because you remember your time as a student, or you are parents or educators. Some of you give in memory of special people, and all of you give because you believe that children in our community deserve access to quality public education. We truly thank you all. We are also grateful to our sponsors for supporting tonight's event. Please help us show our appreciation to our presenting sponsor, Todd Mann Financial Services. Todd Mann is also a member of the Springfield School Board and an SEF volunteer. We are so thankful for his support of the foundation and our community. We are happy to have this evening's wine glass sponsor, Banner Bank. We would like to thank Oregon Wine Lab and William Rose Wines for donating the wine for our Honor Roll Society members, as well as Columbia Bank for sponsoring the dessert treats in your gift bags. Thank you. There are currently 21 volunteers who serve on the Springfield Education Foundation board, led by our dedicated board chair, Michelle Weber. I am proud to serve alongside this incredible group of people. They give their time to this organization because they have a heart for students in our community and want them to be successful now and in their bright futures. If you are an SEF board member, we toast to you. Your generosity is empowering student success. Each spring, SEF awards grants to educators in Springfield Public Schools who desire to implement programs and activities that impact students in a variety of ways. Springfield High School band teacher John Bridges, who is also the director of Mariachi del Sol, received a $3,000 Innovative Educator Grant to purchase new instruments. Many of his program's fragile instruments were becoming worn and splintered, and with distance learning, there just simply weren't enough instruments to go around. This grant helped change that, and despite the challenges of learning from home, allowed students to continue to participate and create wonderful mariachi music that they are sharing with the community. Enjoy this video of the students performing La Bamba and hear from John about the SEF grant that made these new instruments possible.
Mariachi del Sol is the second high school mariachi that has ever existed in the state of Oregon. This was started as an opportunity to provide a well-rounded education and showcase a culture of music that is so strong in our Latino community. When I first heard that we received this grant in the spring from Springfield Education Foundation, I was so excited. The grant has already been put to full use. We were able to purchase, just right at the beginning of the school year, 2 guitarrones, 2 vihuelas, and 1 classical guitar. The impact that SEF has had and the donors, they have made such a huge impact on what we're able to do and what teachers are able to give students, the opportunities teachers are able to give students that we wouldn't otherwise be able to offer. This program has a huge history to uphold that goes back many decades, and with those impacts still being felt here today. And so knowing that there are people still supporting us has just been fantastic.
That was fantastic. We are so proud of these amazing students and the inspirational teachers who inspire them to love school and stay engaged. Now I am honored to introduce our Superintendent of Springfield Public Schools and SEF board member, Todd Hamilton.
Thank you, Christina, and good evening, everyone. It is such a pleasure to gather with you all once again to celebrate our alumni and community members for their gracious efforts to support the children and teachers of Springfield Public Schools. Christina, I actually want to take a moment to thank you for your leadership this year. You stepped into this role during a time of uncertainty and unrest, and you have led SEF with poise and grace through an extremely challenging year. While other foundations paused efforts last spring, you kept fundraising efforts moving forward. You kept children and teachers' needs front and center, and you continued to ask on a regular basis, how can we support our students, our families, and our teachers? Because of you and the amazing support from our donors, many who are here tonight, thank you, SEF touched a lot of lives this year. So thank you, Christina. As we look forward, SEF is well positioned to continue supporting our children when we reopen our schools and welcome our students back for in-person learning. And speaking of in-person learning, tonight, I am proud to announce that our families are receiving email updates as this program evolves tonight. Updates on our next steps for welcoming students back to in-person learning in grades 4 through 12. Beginning after spring break on April 1st, we will welcome back students in grades 4 and 6. A week later on April 8th, we will welcome back students in grades 5 and 7. And a week later on April 15th, we will welcome our 8th grade students. And finally, on April 19th, at the beginning of 4th quarter, we will open our high school doors and welcome back our high school students. We have been looking forward to and planning for the safe and healthy return of students since last March. We have been cautious and intentional with our planning and decision making, and I want to make sure and recognize that this has truly been a team effort. Our teachers and administrators, some who are here tonight with us, have led a different kind of school for months. They have been creative, innovative, and pushed out of their comfort zones to engage students in new and different ways. And while our school doors may have been closed to the public for much of this time, our facilities and maintenance teams were busy preparing our schools, adding air filtration upgrades, updating cleaning protocols, installing signs, and setting up spaces to ensure safe and healthy learning environments. While this was happening, our transportation and nutrition services teams continued to operate, and over the past year, we served nearly 700,000 meals to children in our community. Whether we support children at home or in school, it takes a team of talented, caring, and compassionate people working together. And I want to thank our amazing staff, our amazing partners, Springfield Education Foundation, and all of you for working together this year to strengthen our schools, support our children, and make Springfield a special place to work and learn. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Todd, for those kind words and for that exciting news about what's happening in our district. It is so wonderful to see the young students finally back at school. Next, we will hear from our SEF super volunteer and 5th grade teacher at Ridgeview Elementary, Stephanie Lovedocken, to learn more about the Mystery Science program. SEF has sponsored innovative educator grants for elementary schools to purchase this web-based science curriculum to benefit all students with exciting and engaging science lessons. Let's hear how it works and how we can help.
Hey, I'm so excited to share about Mystery Science. Science is a passion of mine, and it's so important for elementary kids to actually engage in science. Years ago, we lost our science curriculum and haven't had one since. And so there are a lot of teachers out there that are very uncomfortable with teaching science. And when we do have science, there's not funding for supplies for experiments. And what you find is that the actual doing of the science is what gets our kids involved and hooked. And when I was reading through some national science information, and I do a lot of research, but the actual doing of science and engineering can pique a student's curiosity, capture their interest, motivate them to continue that study. And all of that interest and motivation stems from their elementary school career. So if our kids never get exposed to science in elementary school, then they begin to see science as a textbook. And that's not what science is about when you get out in the real world. Science is about exploring, asking questions, failing, having curiosity, knowing it's okay to fail, revise, and retry every single time until you come to a solution that works or a solution nobody's ever thought of. The great thing about Mystery Science that we love, as we've been using it for 3 years at our school now, is that even for teachers who may not be comfortable with teaching science because we haven't received science training in a while, Mystery Doug is the person who runs it, and he walks the kids through all of the 8 practices that the national the next generation science standards say are key to our kids learning and engaging in science and becoming scientists and engineer in the future. And that's asking questions. So he always starts out with a question, and then he takes the kids into the real world within the United States and shows them things that are actually out in their world that go with that question. And then he leaves them hanging. And he asks, why? Why does it do this? Why is this happening? And kids just get to make hypotheses, and they get to discuss and explore and make those guesses that may or may not be right, but it gives them that opportunity to know. They don't have to know the answers to a question before they answer them. And then he goes on to show them videos on whatever it is he's talking about. He gives them background information and vocabulary using real life situations within our world today. And then he poses an experiment for them. And the great thing about it is the experiments are laid out step by step. So teachers can play the video. He tells you to pause it when you need to. There's class discussion, tips for teachers. And then after they engage in the experiment, they create it, they analyze it, they use math and see how math and science connect. And then they get to the end and they get to make their conclusion and write up their conclusion. And the great part about it is in many of his videos, he will talk about how there are several different conclusions you can come to. And in science, there's not always one right answer. There's many different ways to get to a solution. And then the other thing that we've loved about Mystery Science is he adapted everything to online learning this year. And my kids have loved it. So he gives out lists of like what materials you're going to need for the experiment. And you can put in how many kids do you have in your class or your grade level, and it will generate exactly how much you need of each supply and give you a list that you can print. So you can go get exactly what you need. It tells you exactly how to set it up. And then you can explore. So the fun thing is, like, this year, our 5th grade team has taught science in the afternoons, and we've continued to be able to send those lists to parents and then also like purchase and send supplies home. So we've had our kids do experiments at home with us from their house, and the kids love it. He also does a weekly video. So kids write in questions and he gets to choose the question of the week. And then he does a weekly video around that question. So my students call it Mystery Science Tuesday. And we spend probably 45 minutes of our morning meeting talking about the science he brings up. And then he shows them, he has a bonus and gets to show them pictures of real life, like creative things that you would never think of. And the kids absolutely love it. And then they get to vote for next week's question. So all the kids vote Mondays and Tuesdays around the whole United States, and then they have to wait till the next Monday to figure out what question was picked. So it's just a super fun and engaging. The hardest part is there's not funding for science education. So most of the supplies are what teachers buy to hand out to the kids. So that's where SEF comes in, is we were wanting extra support and funding so that we can do more of the experiments with our students that are offered out there.
Thank you, Stephanie. That was so great. My name is Micah Adams, SEF board member, and I'm pleased to announce that SEF has created a new fund specifically to support the needs of educators teaching science in the classroom. Teachers need financial assistance to purchase supplies for science experiments like you highlighted. This fund will allow teachers to submit requests for reimbursement to support the Mystery Science program, as well as other elementary science curricula. We appreciate educators like Stephanie Lovedocken, who work so hard to help their students succeed. And we appreciate all of the donors who have helped to make this possible. Thank you so much. And this is the technical piece of this. Here is the big check. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for all that you've done for SEF and for kids in the community. Really very much appreciated.
Thank you, Micah. And thank you, Stephanie. It's time to present the 2021 SEF Community and Alumni Awards to our very deserving winners. The SEF Advocate of the Year Award is given in recognition of an individual, family, or organization that has championed the mission of Springfield Education Foundation and made a lasting impact on Springfield students. This community award was established in honor of SEF board member and volunteer Sid Voorhees and his late wife, Hank. Our winner this year happens to be a proud Thurston High School graduate. To do the honors of presenting this award, please welcome SEF board member Kelly Warner.
Thank you very much. So nice to be here with you all. I am so happy to have the privilege to introduce tonight's recipient of the SEF Advocate of the Year Award because, quite frankly, she is one of my most favorite people on this planet. Anyone who knows Brenda Hansen knows she is a helper to her very core. Brenda served on the SEF board for 5 years and is a past board chair. She's been an active volunteer with Springfield Public Schools for many years and has spent a substantial amount of that time in our schools, supporting staff, pampering them with her famous grilled cheese sandwich parties, and honoring the important work they do in ways too numerous to count. Brenda is a proud graduate of Thurston High School's class of 1986, and her son Spencer graduated from THS in 2017. Brenda is the owner and agent of Hansen Insurance Agency, representing Horace Mann Insurance. It's always been important to Brenda to help provide teachers and students the tools that they need to be successful. We are so thankful for her willingness to lend a hand when it was needed. It didn't really matter the cause. She was always there to support the foundation's efforts. And we would be remiss if we didn't give her husband Dale a shout out as well. We're pretty sure he got roped into a lot of our events through Brenda's participation, but we are thankful for his support as well. Brenda also serves the Springfield community in other ways. She's on the board of the Springfield Area Chamber of Commerce and volunteers on the Education Committee. She also serves on the board of Cascade Housing Association. It's no secret that the Springfield Education Foundation and so many nonprofits in our community exist because of dedicated volunteers like Brenda. She has shown her love for the community with her time, and she's given it time and time again over the years through her willingness to participate in so many efforts that make our community a better place. Please help me recognize Brenda Hansen as the 2021 SEF Advocate of the Year.
Thank you. It's an honor to receive this. I was surprised to get the email from Christina, but I have to say that I suspect pretty much anyone that is watching right now would deserve this as much as I do. I know the folks that live in Springfield and work in Springfield and support the schools all have very strong feelings about making sure that the students that we are charged with taking care of as a part of our community have every single opportunity to really to have access to all those things that we want them to. And without the support of the Education Foundation, we would not be able to do anything. So I feel privileged to be able to live in Springfield and support Springfield schools. I think we have amazing staff over the last year. I've done my best to stay in touch. It's really sad to me that I can't be in the buildings and doing all the things that I love to support them, but I found other ways, which is good because I can do other things too. But I can't wait to get back. I just hope that we can all continue to work and give our time and give funds and make sure that our staff has everything that they need so that they can stay inspired and they can teach in different ways and ways they would never have access to if we didn't support them. So keep giving in any way you can, and thank you so much.
Congratulations again, Brenda. So well deserved. The next community award we are presenting this evening is the Legacy Family Award. This award recognizes a Springfield family that has made a multi-generational impact on education in our community. Introducing this award tonight is a wonderful supporter of Springfield Education Foundation, Mr. John Halgren.
Thank you, Christina. For my introduction of the Payne family as recipients of the Legacy Family Award, I will keep my comments brief with lots of enthusiasm. You all received prior to this evening the information that Stan and Kathy have provided in their bio, which was very thorough, explaining their local and regional and national prominence. So what else can I add? Dr. C. Payne and Dr. S. Payne are highly regarded in their own professional realms. They are very caring, showing respect to others, and are just darn nice people. How fitting tonight to recognize their exemplary support for SEF, as well as encouraging others to do the same. How do you say no to the Paynes? Question mark. Their commitment to excellence, kindness to everyone, and positive connection to education has been contagious to so many of us. As important to the Paynes is their extended family involvement. The joy of helping and supporting others is certainly in their DNA. As many of you know in the audience, I could go on and on about the Payne family, but no, I will not drag this out. I will use an appropriate quote from the Dalai Lama. Be kind whenever possible. It is always possible. Please welcome Stan and Kathy Payne.
Well, thank you, John, very much for that wonderful introduction. And thank you to the foundation for this award. We're really deeply honored to join the other very esteemed Legacy Family Award recipients. And we wanted to begin by recognizing two people that have really shaped and influenced our lives as educators. The first one is our son, Patrick. Patrick is currently the director of the Data Management and Analysis Group at the University of Oregon College of Education. And the second person is our daughter, Jennifer. She's the director of sales for the Four Seasons Hotel in Seattle. And both of them are on our Zoom call tonight, so we appreciate them being here. You know, they taught us many lessons about how to be parents, how to be teachers, and how to be administrators. And after a hard day, they were always there with a smile and hug. So big shout out to Patrick and wife Amanda Kennedy and Jennifer and Eric Cole. Stan and I collectively logged 55 years in K-12 education in Oregon, and we were proud that 45 of those years were spent in Springfield.
The focus on legacy calls to mind the 4 generations of educators in our family whose work has spanned 120 years. My grandfather taught in a one-room schoolhouse in Minnesota in the early days. My mother was a high school English teacher. 3 of her siblings were also teachers. Kathy and I have dabbled in education a bit here and there. Our son Patrick, besides his work at the university, reviews grant applications for the social emotional learning grants with SEF. And our daughter-in-law Amanda has volunteered as PTO officer and volunteer person at Centennial. The next generation, of course, would include our grandchildren, 2 of whom currently attend Centennial, and who are now learning their SEL skills through us, of course, their parents, of course, but also through the great staff at Centennial. Learning through such programs as the Centennial Peace Pledge, the Character Education Initiative, and the Greatest Kids on Planet Earth recognition program. We developed these programs more than 20 years ago, and I'm deeply grateful that 4 principals and many staff have carried them out over these last 20 plus, going almost 25 years now. Honored that our kids can learn from some of the best educators on planet Earth at Centennial here throughout the school district. a few thousand students have probably benefited somewhat along the way as well.
One of our greatest joys has been the creation of the Social Emotional Learning Fund. In 2017, we sat around our dining room table with about a dozen foundation donors, and we asked this question: what personal skills do students need to be successful in life? Well, those very smart people gave us 5 ideas that had become the foundation for our grant project. And this is what they are: set and achieve positive goals, understand and manage emotions, show some empathy for others, have positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. So we're now in the 5th year of awarding a grant of up to $1,000 to a school to teach those values. And we're so excited to have reached our fundraising goal of $25,000. So the grant is now self-sustaining and will continue on into the future. Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone who donated to that. And a special thanks to Christina, who really helped us move this to the finish line. Thank you. So if you are a Springfield educator or you know one, we encourage you to check out this year's application, which is now available, and do April 26th along with all the other foundation applications.
A couple of years ago, in a casual conversation, Todd Hamilton suggested, we floated the idea of something at the high school level, and Todd recommended considering a scholarship program. And I'm proud to say that there's a new SEL program at the high school level now in Springfield called the Spreading Kindness Leadership Awards. In this program, $1,000 post-secondary scholarships are given to one graduating senior at each of the 4 high school programs in Springfield. Students write an essay and do they record a TED-like talk on a topic related to improving or enhancing the social emotional positive culture within their school communities. The program is now in its 2nd year, so our second group of 4 students will receive $1,000 scholarships for their kindness leadership in their schools this spring. In closing, we want to express our sincere thanks and acknowledgement again to Christina and the SEF board for their support for SEL in the district and for this honor. Thank you to Todd Hamilton and the administrative team and the SPS board for their leadership and support of SEL programs within the district. And finally, thanks to all SPS staff who have embraced the need for social emotional learning for our kids, for the young people in our community who have made the commitment to help address these needed skills. Working together, we can create the kinds of future our kids deserve, giving them the social, emotional, and academic skills they need to succeed in school and in life. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our friends Dan and Kathy and the Payne family. Tonight is not only an opportunity to thank you for supporting student success through the Springfield Education Foundation, but also to recognize standout alumni of Springfield Public Schools. We established our Alumni Awards program in 2014, and tonight we are honored to present 3 awards demonstrating the incredible achievements of our district's alumni and the dedication of those who believe that students deserve every opportunity to achieve their highest potential. The great work of SEF would mean nothing if it wasn't for the dedicated educators who invest so much of themselves into fostering an environment where students are challenged to learn, grow, and explore. A vast number of our teachers are Springfield Public Schools alumni. SEF is pleased to recognize those who have graduated from our schools and returned to make a lasting impact in the lives of our students. Presenting the 2021 Distinguished Educator Award this evening is SEF board member Melanie Grenz.
Thank you all. I've had the great honor and privilege of working with Rachel Overall for the past 11 years. And I would like to share with you about my dear friend and colleague, Rachel Overall. Rachel, as you can see by her bio in your booklet, is a dedicated educator who puts in countless hours to see her students thrive. Rachel has a huge heart for children, and she strives to provide differentiated instruction to each and every child in every one of her classes. I'm especially amazed at the children in which Rachel ignites the love of learning. She also emphasizes skills for lifelong learning in her classes, such as punctuality or showing up for school every day on time and no excuses. Rachel is the queen of kindness, and she teaches and demonstrates this virtue each and every day in her classroom. She exudes enthusiasm, compassion, empathy, and her level of energy is contagious. She also has a huge heart for those children who are challenging and those children who have lacked or continue to lack care, connection, and compassion in their lives. Since March 2020, Rachel has been the beacon of hope to her students and their families during comprehensive distance learning. This past school year has been and may forever be remembered as being one of the most challenging years in education. Rachel truly captained students and families through this horrific storm. We are now back enjoying in-person learning for kindergarten through third grade, and Rachel easily pivoted to meet the new challenge with grace, professionalism, and her ever-present positive attitude. Rachel overall was put on this earth to be an educator. We are so fortunate to have this amazing educator in our district. The Springfield Education Foundation could not be more honored to present Rachel Overall with this year's Distinguished Educator of the Year Award.
Thank you, Melanie. I'd like to thank the SEF board members and donors for this recognition. I'm so proud to be a part of Douglas Gardens Elementary, a place where kindness matters. And under the leadership of our amazing principal, Carla Smith, we've had such a strong, dedicated teaching staff that strives to do what's best for kids and supports and encourages one another. I teach second grade at Douglas Gardens, and we've been back to school for about 4 weeks. And I can tell you that students have adapted very well with all of the new regulations and rules put in place. They're doing a fabulous job of wearing their masks and keeping their distance from others. They understand that we're doing everything we're doing to keep them safe. Students are happy to be back at school and excited to see their teachers and friends, and that goes for me too. It's such a pleasure to get out of the house and have a routine. As you can imagine, this year has been incredibly difficult in so many ways. I've been challenged and stretched completely out of my comfort zone, and I'm so very honored to receive the Distinguished Educator Award. Thank you.
Cheers to Rachel, my children's very favorite teacher of all time.
Thank you.
The Rising Alumni Award is given in recognition of recent alumni. These graduates have demonstrated significant potential through professional accomplishments, academic honors, personal achievement, and community involvement. Presenting this award is SEF board member Terry Shearer.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to talk about this person this evening. He was born and raised in Springfield, and our Rising Alumni recipient graduated from Springfield High in 2009. During his time at SHS, he played varsity basketball, football, was a member of the band, and student body president his senior year. During his time at SHS and prior to graduation in 2009, he began what has become one of his passions, connecting the school to the community. A Ford Scholar recipient, he continued this passion while attending Willamette University, creating the Willamette University Sustainability Network with the Alumni Engagement Office. Graduating in 2013 with a degree in sociology and a minor in Spanish and chemistry. Prior to graduate school, he managed workforce development programs and volunteer operations at Marion Polk Food Share. He then went on to work towards an MPA and MS in educational leadership at the U of O, graduating in 2018. During his time in graduate school, he worked for the Sustainable Cities Institute and Inflection, managing programs and assisting executives, addressing different aspects of career readiness in higher education and public schools, respectively. During grad school, he was fortunate to meet Nalia, who was studying to become a physician's assistant. They married in 2017, and son Zoltan was born in 2019. They added their Idaho water dog Bushka in 2020 to complete their family. They reside in Springfield, fortunately near me, so I get to see Zoltan when they are out on walks. His experience supporting nonprofit associations includes serving on the Ford Scholar Alumni Association Board of Directors as Vice President and Member at Large, preparing a diversity and inclusion report for the American Society of Association Executives, and volunteering with the Alumni Association for his alma mater. In 2017, prior to completing his master's degree, he joined EPIC-N, Educational Partnerships for Innovation in Communities, continuing his interest in connecting schools to the community. He manages day-to-day operations, provides support to member programs and board members. Working at EPIC-N has been the springboard for creating his own consulting firm, Marshall Curry Consulting, for nonprofits and higher education institutions and their respective stakeholders. Please join me in congratulating our rising alumni, hometown boy with a passion for his community, Marshall Curry.
Yay. Thank you, Terry. 1 second while we adjust our microphones. I forgot that part. Thanks, Nelia. I'll start by thanking my wife, who just helped with the microphone, my family members, my siblings, and my son Zoltan for all of their support over the years. I've spent a lot of evenings, a lot of afternoons, a lot of mornings early, waking up everyone in the house, doing a lot of work over the last 10 years, I guess, since graduating high school. And so they deserve a lot of the credit and a lot of the support. And as the next group of people I wanted to thank was just the folks I work with at EPIC-N, the colleagues across the globe. I have a lot of East Coasters calling in today, or tonight, I guess, very late for them. So thank you for staying up for this. The work I do now takes me across the globe, and I learn about really the perils and the pandemics that are facing so many of us close to home, as well as abroad. And it really means a lot to me that those colleagues are there and supporting me as we try to come up with solutions to those problems. As I think about those problems and as I take steps to address them with my colleagues and the partners across the globe that I work with, I really want to take a moment and highlight those educators who stepped up to guide me in impactful ways as educators when I was in Springfield. Ms. Kepler, Mr. Strong, Ms. Peary, Mrs. Scruggs, Mr. Haas, Mr. Stevens, Ms. Barley, Coach Heiberger and Simmons, Mrs. Harrington, Mr. Fields, Mr. Holt, Mr. DeMant, just to name a few. They've really impacted my life with lifelong lessons that I continue to employ even from home as I work virtually and throughout the pandemic, but before that too. And finally, I want to just take a moment, and I thought a lot about this since I heard about the award, and I just want to take a moment and acknowledge that many of my classmates, both my year and in other years, are on the front lines of the pandemic, facing supporting all of the community members in Springfield, but also abroad, where they've found residence. I know some of you are on the call. Josh Whitmer in particular, thank you for joining, and thank you for your continued support of our community from afar. I really want to just recognize them as I'm receiving this award because, one, they inspire me, two, we continue to talk and it's encouraging to me, but really they're the ones this year who have put themselves at risk to keep going. And so as I receive this, I'll be passing it along to them as I can because they're my Rising Alumni Award winners this year. But I also want to just say thank you so much for recognizing my contribution to the community, and thank you, SEF, for this recognition. And thank you to those family members and friends who have joined tonight. It was great to see you, and I'm glad we got to give you a little Zoltan vision as well. So thank you all.
Congratulations, Marshall and family. And thank you to so many of Marshall's friends for joining us tonight. That's really wonderful. The Outstanding Alumni Award is given in recognition of alumni for outstanding contributions in professional practice, personal achievement, and community service. Presenting this award is Larry Alberts, past SCF board member and longtime SCF supporter.
Hi, boy, following a baby, that's a tough one. Hey, but Rich is worth it. You know, he's a longtime friend of mine. We actually have known each other for since we were in junior high at Briggs Junior High, and we moved on and went to Thurston High School and graduated in the class of '78. Well, Rich, as you probably saw some of that, he's a proud owner of Primetime, been there for 25 years. Actually, Primetime was rated one of the top sports bars in Oregon and in the top 5, and it has definitely been the top one here in town, as Register Guard and a lot of the other people have showed us. And Rich is I kind of got lost there he's really a great guy. He's dedicated himself and his company to supporting the community, and he's always willing to help with where help is needed, for sure. Particularly enjoys donating. I mean, he's did a lot of stuff. He's been my softball sponsor on my softball team for 25 years, I think. But he's great at supporting the community, and he really particularly enjoys donating to our local schools and local organizations. And when you're talking to Rich, it's really clear how important that is to him and how dedicated he is serving it. He's also been very dedicated to his family and friends, very organized, very thoughtful, and also successful while giving back so much to this community that we live in. And he's a long time Duck fan, go Ducks, and go Thurston Colts too, by the way. But now it's probably not my 3 minutes, but I am honored to introduce you to a really good friend of mine, Rich Chickham.
What happened? We're good. Hello.
Hi, Rich.
Hello.
You're on. Thank you for being here.
I have lost my picture and everything, and I apologize. I've not really done Zoom before, so am I good to go?
Yep, we can see you and we can hear you, so you're all
okay. All right, well, I just lost my screen over here, so I thought I was off. I apologize. Thank you, Christina. And Larry, thank you very much also. I very much appreciate it, very honored for this, a little bit surprised and that kind of thing as well. I'm very grateful, number one, for all the work that all of you guys do to support all of the kids and everything in our district and our teachers and everything, trying to bridge all the gaps in our lack of finances. All of you who dedicate your time in helping all the, building all the, oh, I'm sorry, just helping the various causes. People like me, I can donate money. I don't have enough time and that kind of thing to help on the ground like what you guys do. And you're, in my opinion, the true heroes here. You guys donate all of your time and do all the groundwork to help all these kids and everything. And I don't have that kind of time, and I don't have your kind of skills to be able to do all that kind of help. And so I'd really like to just say thank you to all of you people, because you're really what's needed out there. My company has been successful for 25 years, thanks to everybody in this community and a terrific staff that we've been able to develop through the grace of my family and my kids and that kind of thing, who help make everything go around. So we're able to generate money that we can donate to the various causes and that kind of thing, whether it's sports or academics or whatever people need, and happy to help. But what you guys do is amazing to me. And the teaching and helping and providing funds where funds aren't adequate to help the kids. And, you know, I go back and think when Larry and I were in school in the 70s, and we had money for everything. You know, we had sports, we had all kinds of elective classes and that kind of thing. And, you know, I don't recall paying for much of anything. It was just provided, and we just took advantage of it, and we did it, and very grateful for it. And these days, everybody is having to generate funds for virtually everything, and it's a sad situation. And I'm so grateful for SEF. Happy to help any way that I can. Hope that we continue to get back to a profitable state one of these days soon, to where we can help again more. I just want to say thank you very much to everybody. I appreciate the recognition. Thank you, Larry, very much for the nomination for this. It's a big honor. I really appreciate it. I'd like to be able to do more, and looking forward to the day when we can all get back to life as normal or close to it. And again, I'm very appreciative. I've learned an awful lot just listening to all of you people, and appreciate so much what all of you are doing for our community, the kids, the other educators. I have great respect for everybody here. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Rich, and thank you for all of your wonderful contributions to our community.
Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. What a fantastic evening. A big thanks to everyone who helped with tonight's event, including the volunteers on the SEF Marketing and Alumni Committee, our speakers and award presenters, my daughter Anna, who wrote thank you and drew a happy face in all of your cards, our wonderful sponsors, and our fabulous student musical performers. We thank all of you for being here and helping us recognize the amazing alumni who continue to give back to our community and support our students. Wonderful things are happening for our students right now that would not be possible without your generosity. Congratulations again to all of our award recipients. Please send us a photo of you with your awards. Honor Roll Society members, enjoy your wine and chocolate, and send us a photo with your gift bag. Thank you to everyone for attending this event and investing in the success of Springfield students. Have a great night. Cheers. Yay, and before we leave, could we all maybe hold up our glasses and say cheers for a group photo? The best we can do. I can only see myself. Can everyone see everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. Usually we have a professional photographer, but we've got Devin over here in the kitchen. He's doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much to our new foundation coordinator, Devin Lewis, who has just joined the team 2 weeks ago and has done a fantastic job organizing this event. Thank you, Devin. Oh, there he is. And I would personally love to hear La Bamba one more time before we open it up and chat. What do you think, Devin?
Para bailar la bamba se necesita una poca de gracia para mí, para ti, y arriba y arriba, ay arriba y arriba y arriba, y yo no soy marinero, Yo no soy marinero, por ti seré, por ti seré, por ti seré. Bamba, 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 bamba.
Cuando canto la bamba, cuando canto la bamba, yo estoy contento porque yo me acompaño, con mi instrumento y arriba y arriba, ahí arriba y arriba y arriba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán.
Bamba, 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 bamba. Qué bonita la bamba, qué bonita la bamba en la madrugada cuando todos la bailan, cuando todos la bailan en la enramada y arriba y arriba, ay arriba y arriba y arriba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Ay, te pido de compasión que se acabe la bamba, que se acabe la bamba y venga otra zona. Ay, arriba y arriba, ay, arriba y arriba y arriba. Yo no soy marinero, yo no soy marinero, por ti seré, por ti seré.